beginning of the long war. New armor designs are put to test, as well as the first land carrier design. The flaw of the new designs is felt fully, as the unarmored undersides and wheels chafe under a combination of uneven terrain, a top-heavy composition, and precision artillery. The extraterrestrial replicator swarm responds, releasing the heavy units. Quadrupedal mobile fortresses. The materials used exhibits great polymorphic capability and tensile strength reinforced through inertial suppression grids, allowing for unexpected mobility and stability. Thankfully, hostile weaponry for now appears to be kinetics of comparable power, albeit upscaled. The machine swarm releases large airborne cruiser units as a supplement, providing both long-range firepower and unparalleled E-war capability. Black-boxed gravitic technology, once jealously hid, and their ingenious inventors murdered or indoctrinated, now see open use as boxy fighter craft, now forced into dogfighting range, engage the cruiser classes to open up for a lock-on. These units are deployed from a mothership in orbit, which had just revealed itself, a great black sphere, a silent watching specter over the battlefield. Conventional ground forces see increased use in large concentrations, soldiers taking cover in between armor formations while moving out and taking potshots at more lightly armored tangos and retreating to cover again. The enemy quickly escalates, revealing a fragment of the extent of its technological prowess, as if to mock and dishearten the fleshy race that stood against it. Replicating utility fog is spread into the atmosphere, allowing for the weather to be manipulated through insertion of calibrated EM fields, on a scale even the secret HARP functions could not replicate save in the greatest concentrations, lightning strikes coming in like coordinated bombardment. Through great effort and sacrifice of lives and material, time is bided for development of a new mechanized unit for use on the battlefield. Dreadnoughts on land, equipped with naval-grade weaponry and equipped with rocket thrusters for locomotion and anti-grav units for buoyancy, the first siege tanks enter service. Heavier aircraft in the vein of the AC-130 also see a return with the reverse engineering of metamaterials and alien alloys. First major territory gain since beginning of war, with infantry now receiving armored exoskeletons as standard issue, increasing survivability. Retaken land is dotted with wasp hives, production facilities for the swarm, looking like stacked fractals with roots digging deep for resources. A major hive is destroyed by a classified U.S. DO platform, originally used for covert terror ops. The swarm begins deploying atmosphere-capable spaceships. First encounter of the enemy's energy weaponry, a sort of particle beam unimpeded by diffraction, looking more like a solid bolt that fragments freely. Military Earthside has seen a full overhaul towards a heavier design. Atmospheric disruptors continue to be deadly. Enemy manipulation increases in intensity, causing many operations to be stopped dead in their tracks. An infantry unit, bereft of armor complements and running low on everything, trudges on forward, determined to give their lives to deliver an atomic payload. The first sky cruisers enter service, currently being little more than very mobile troop transports. The swarm shows more of its teeth, deploying units composed of curved space-time, engaging in melee combat with Earth forces helplessly flailing, trying to harm something that cannot be unraveled by firepower. Strangely, this variant disappeared as quickly as they appeared, indicating some kind of extreme resource expenditure or third-party involvement. Sky cruisers become full-sized battleships. Particle weapons enter regular service. Ion pulses deployed against the mechanical opponent, fusing circuits and blowing out comm networks. The swarm has now resorted largely to orbital pod insertions to avoid heavy defensive fire, opting to target large concentrations or population centers. Yet another major deployment, pushing the last wheeled military vehicles into a countercharge to overwhelm enemy fortifications. The atmospheric disruptors are taken out somewhat, lessening the burden on the forces. Still, losses remain horrific. In the cities, nowhere above ground is truly safe, as a lapse in the newly minted orbital security fails to take care of a utility fog swarm. A concentrated bolt of thunder rakes its way throughout Seattle, leaving glassed earth in the wake. Small, compact walker units are deployed by the swarm as a counter to larger infantry regiments with a focus on rapid and destructive melee. Older vehicles are outclassed by newer hovercraft designs, having a truly modular design. Walker units are met with heavy airstrikes wherever they show up. The swarm takes up increasingly massed warfare formations, forming a wall of blazing beams on low altitude. Railgun-equipped super-heavy tanks are first deployed with heavy hardening against cyber warfare. These weapons are temperamental and are prone to overheating and misalignment, but prove their worth by scoring kills at truly impressive ranges. A major stronghold has just been reached. An all-out assault begins on basalt black spires of alien geometry. It looks to be a meat grinder. The swarm begins using fightercraft en masse. Land ships are deployed in large companies under aircraft cover to deploy troops to a subterranean hive. Variable fighters are first put into action. These vehicles can freely transform between a land-going and aerial mode, achieving great speeds and allowing fighter jets to knock on your door for the first time in history. Another major hive is met with a lengthy campaign of isolating and bombardment. Swarm Super Dreadnought is downed for the first time by a multinational fleet action. Variable fighters gain ever more intricate ambulatory options. Soldiers at the far front line from the Long War's beginning, surprised to see support come so late. Old forces stuck in enemy territory make a desperate push to rejoin under heavy attack. Only a few survive, all traumatized. Titanic war machines with ever more powerful weapons are deployed, seemingly able to counter any action. A huge counterattack by the swarm, like a dagger to the heart, strike deep where the National Guard holds off for the main military to redistribute forces. This war would continue ceaselessly, though Earth can soon expect a space force that finally allow humanity to pick its engagements.